You wouldn't believe the day I've had, buddy. I finally managed to organize that art convolution mixer I've been thinking about. You know, that little pet project that's been bouncing around in the old noggin for yonks. And let me tell you, it made for one hell of an evening, full of brainy chatter and starry-eyed musings. It felt like a sort of artistic cluster bomb that exploded on the canvas of our minds, if that makes any sense. Oliver and Eva came too. Their brilliance only made the night so much brighter. There were ideas passed around like an intricate dance, and the wine and gourmet appetizers didn't hurt either. Now this is the bit where I go all Mad Hatter on you. Picture it, a mad tea party but with us artists huddled around, instead of the March Hare and Dormouse talking art and lifestyle. Imagine the intoxicating mix of intellectual humor, casual art-inspired banter, and mixed media critique all set within an ambiance straight out of a Monet painting. And guess what got the most attention? Virtual reality, no less. We ended up in a hefty discussion on how VR could revolutionize art galleries and exhibitions. I also had a chat with Nina. Remember her, right? She's excited to join the mixer next time. She herself is hoping to curate a gallery someday. I have a feeling once Nina delves into it, the art scene won't know what hit it. You know what I really love about these interactions? It's like the grasshopper and the ant fable but flipped. We grasshoppers, lost in our art, end up teaching and learning from each other's creativity. Oh, and speaking of learning, Nina's clued me in on a new album by The Strokes. Yes, the same band I used to idolize in high school, remember? It seemed they've come out with some new tracks. Part of me yearns for my trusty bass right now. Nostalgia, am I right? You're not going to believe what's been happening, buddy. I've been doing a deep dive into my artistic past, more like tracing back the breadcrumbs of my creative journey, you know? It's like walking through a museum of my own art, going from room to room, exhibit to exhibit, each representing a phase of my life. And every phase has its own palette, strokes, and textures, each telling a unique tale. It's enlightening to say the least. You know, it's like retracing back your roots in a way. The first drafts, the initial sketches, displaying amateur knowledge of proportion and the cartoonish illustrations from my early teens to the complex, abstract works echoing deep, emotional turmoil. All leading up to what and where I am today. If I must say so myself, it's a unique journey only understood by the one who's traveled it. And as I go down memory lane, I'm noticing patterns, buddy. I've been seeing the influences that stuck, the ones that faded, and the new ones that replaced them. It's like watching the footsteps I've taken, painting a map of my personal evolution. And speaking of evolution, remember the Strokes? My high school rock gods? Listen to their new album. It's like they've evolved with us. The same raw grit encased in mature, refined music. On another note, yes, I'm functioning on green tea and the chaos that is my studio right now. Still not a Kale fan. Don't you dare mention it. But yes, the tea is great, and I'm battling art supplies, but hey, who said art was ever neat? Speaking of neat, Nina's got this neat idea up her sleeve. Something about organizing an art gallery. And knowing Nina, half the town's art circles would be there. Art discussions, critiques, and a hell lot of creativity. It's going to be amazing, I bet. Oh, on the topic of firsts, Nina also mentioned this new burger joint that opened recently. Apparently their truffle fries are to die for. We should check it out. I'm absolutely starving just thinking about it. After all, an artist cannot function on creativity alone. Not sure how I'd review a cheeseburger, though. Not compared to a gallery, at least. Need to think about that. Anyway, enough about my artistic ramblings for now. Got back from sketching some more of those architectural wonders today. There's something about the historic townhouses. They hold their own against the monoliths of glass and steel. Like they're whispering of a time that once was, rich in history, the heart of what makes this city, reminds me of the fine representations at the Museum of Fine Arts back in Boston. It's pretty surreal to think about how each structure stood witness to different eras, different stories unfolding in the backdrop of New York City, each contributing to the city's evolving identity. Jack mentioned something similar. Remember him? The architect we met at the exhibit. His belief in the power of architecture to encapsulate stories really resonated with me. That conversation led me to this exploration of sketching architectural structures. I guess a bit of that infectious love for architecture from Jack seeped into me. It's interesting how buildings can also become subjects of storytelling, just like paintings. Who knew subway entrances could ever be an inspiration? And they say an artist's muse takes unpredictable forms. Had a chat with Nina as well, a bit more about my sudden love for architectural sketches. She never pictured subway entrances as artistic inspirations either. But why not write? Everything's got its beauty, if you look close enough. She was asking if I had any exhibit plans for these sketches. Honestly, I haven't thought much about it. It's quite fresh right now, still exploring this shift in my perspective. Oh, you won't believe what else Nina recommended for my bucket list. A Thai food adventure. Might be spicy as a dragon's breath given all the spicy food hype, but apparently it's packed with flavors. Well, I'm nothing if not game for a flavor roller coaster. On another note, picked up again on that book she suggested, still on the emotional ride, halfway through. She's got quite the taste for books with twists and turns. Can't wait to dive in further. Nina did add that I should be prepared for the ending, so you know where to find me if I go silent for a while. But for now, I guess I'll be seeing where this new architectural inspiration leads me. It's always exciting to step onto a path you didn't expect, just like when I quit my corporate job and dove headfirst into my true calling, fine art. Who knew it would open so many doors and walkways down the line?